Save it for the pod.
It's boring, but like, I'll take it.
All right, we're live. We're live. Welcome to the Circuit Breakers podcast. We're live. We're now live. Welcome everybody.
To the Circuit Breakers podcast, everyone. We have a special guest today.
We do. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go with that right out of the barrel, but I was trying to get into it eventually.
Right out of the barrel, like a bunch of monkeys.
That really did come out quick.
Yeah,
you know, I heard you got 12 inches.
Oh God, I would be in the hospital if I got 12 inches.
You mean a hospital again, obviously.
Yeah. Obviously, just some grammar.
I'm going to check your conversion rate there.
He is a math minor.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We didn't get 12 inches, I don't think.
No, how much did we get?
I mean, I don't know. We weren't here. We were in Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it was 12.
How was
No way.
Columbus, Georgia, in the summer?
Yeah, it was
Or
all
were we in
right.
the fall?
It was all right.
Technically in the fall.
Oh.
It wasn't terrible.
It was good. So, I mean, the best news for us is we were slated. We had Jim Cantori in our town. We were slated to be like literally massacred. And instead, that motherfucking thing, we turned on our mag lab, powered up that magnet, storm turned east, and Tallahassee was saved. And then all east of us was really, really fucked up. And of course, I'm sure you've heard about the Carolinas.
Did you say the MAGA lab you turned on?
The mag lab.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Must have
MAGA lab.
misheard.
Yeah, I guess you did.
And that's the running joke in Tallahassee. We have like the world's largest magnet here.
Oh, is that right?
And so we joke that they turn on the magnet and then it like all the storms go around us.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Keep that magnet on.
Exactly. It worked.
Yeah.
Fucking worked again, dude. We were about to get with a Cat 4 direct hit, and like within like the last couple hours, it like turned.
Exactly.
And just out of range. So if it was even like 10 to 20 miles more west, we would have been fucked.
Wow. And so that probably saved a lot of the homeless people in Tallahassee.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, and it's super. All the like Keaton Beach and like all these places east of us are super fucked up. But I gotta say, it is less populated areas. So
Less populated because the homeless people are dead. Is that what you're saying?
no.
That is a takeaway.
No, I'm saying like Taylor County and those counties over there just have a less population. So if they take a direct hit, it's less people affected than if they hit Tallahassee. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. Good point.
It sucks for them though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. What a amazing starter screen.
We got a new screen.
Nice.
We got a new screen.
Even though it's way too big, you got to shrink it because you can't see it, all of it.
Yeah.
Now,
well,
is that free form drawn picture? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw her. She had a whole, what do you call those things with, you put the painting on, No,
canvas.
I forget what it's called, but it has legs.
It's still not. You can't see it now. Okay, yeah, it's good. I like it.
And they, she was painting, slavering over it for the last 6 days. Particularly troublesome was that black hole thing.
You gotta bring it up some. Can't see it all.
Did you use colored pencils or pens?
There we go.
This is oil. This is an oil-based painting.
Oil based.
Yeah.
Looks very nice.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I guess you're not an artist.
Not in many forms. Interesting. Is that an iPhone or is that a?
Great question.
It's definitely an iPhone.
Okay.
But also, it's you too. You're the black dude on the right.
Oh, good. I do tan well.
If we're going solely by penis size, I think I'm the black guy.
I'm sorry.
So, is it 12 inches?
Oh, yours is, please.
And the differentiate between limp and hard
Yeah, that's a
at
good point.
any state.
That's a good point.
But there's Helene whipping through not only the beach but the mountains, and that's podcasting about it.
Okay, yeah. So there's a little hurricane, and then someone's just camping next to the water.
Someone's just camping.
Exactly,
There's
yeah,
Canadians
exactly.
back there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
'Cause not everyone
hurricane.
leaves.
I thought it was some kind of like a black hole thing or something. But you're right. It does
No,
make
that's
sense with the
a
water.
hurricane.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Not everyone that lives by the water leaves.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
My sister's house is completely flooded, and so is Joe's.
Are
Listen.
you suggesting that they have different houses?
I am suggesting they left the sanctity of marriage.
Oh shit. There's no
I
sanctity. Con games do not get sanctity. There is no sanctity of marriage. It's a scam. Scams don't get sanctity.
Scam. Marriage is a
Oh,
scam.
yeah, it's just a big scam.
Yeah,
By the
exactly.
government. Yeah.
Yep.
How about by Hallmark? Oh, happy anniversary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
It's a double whammy for my nieces though, because both of their rooms got flooded. With their
Oh, I thought you meant marriage. I was like,
Wow.
what? Why would that? Why would marriage?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Did they collect any Pokemon cards that might have got ruined in the flood?
Oh shit, that's a really good question. I'll have to ask 91173 that question.
Good.
Wow.
Wow, we are really
What?
getting high in the 911 numbers.
I missed a lot of 911s. I don't know where they all went to. I've forgotten a lot of them. I do
I think
smoke weed.
I think they were taken by the storm.
Oh, Jesus. That's horrible.
Well, don't fuck with Mother Nature.
All right, by the way, I think maybe we should introduce this. On that note, we should introduce our special co-host. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah, great
All right,
idea.
all right. You're live. You want anything? You have anything to say to us, to your podcast listeners? Yeah, I say you're live. Do you have anything to say to your podcast listeners?
Oh, sure. Because who wouldn't want to catch every awkward pause and moment live, right? But seriously, going live adds an exciting dynamic. Got any strategies to keep things running smoothly?
Well, one thing is, and this is probably going to work out great, is that they can't talk directly to you, so they have to tell me something, and I will.
Turn that shit up. I can't hear it.
You turned it down. And then I will replay it.
Turned it up.
I will.
Ah, the joys
Hi,
of being the
Catherine. Hi,
middleman.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
It's like a game of telephone, but with podcast listeners. Ready for the challenge then? How are you planning to juggle it all?
If you thought I was turning it down earlier, you were mistaken. I was trying to turn it up.
That's a great question. How do we plan to juggle this? It's already falling badly off the rails, I have to say.
Well, the beauty of going off the rails is that it can lead to some unexpected and fun moments. Embrace the chaos, and who knows, you might end up with podcast gold. What's your backup plan if things get a little too wild?
That's a good question. So far we've had podcast, what I like to call podcast plastic, which is the least valuable.
That's the spirit. Sometimes the best moments are the unplanned ones. Embrace the unpredictability, and you'll keep your listeners coming back for more.
Yeah, that's
So,
the other thing.
what's on?
We don't really have any
Great.
listeners.
With that winning attitude, you're all set to create more podcast gold. Ready to dive into the next topic?
Yeah. What do you guys have a topic for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
How about exploring the future of AI
Rosh
in
Hashanah.
creative
Should
fields?
it be celebrated
From
this
music
month?
and art to writing and
coming month?
filmmaking, AI's making waves.
Also,
What do you
okay, so
think?
you don't know how
Is
to
it
talk
enhancing
about how to control
creativity
your
or
AI, you
just
fucking do the
automating the
right-
magic?
Yes, I know. I'm realizing
her.
that now. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Jesus, I should have.
Fantastic. AI in creative fields it is. There's so much to explore, from AI-generated art to music composed by algorithms. Should make for an intriguing discussion on the circuit breakers.
A question: did you smoke enough pot before the podcast? Because if you had, this might have been resolved.
And also, make her eat that fucking microphone. We can barely hear her.
Dude, ChatGPT is right up against my microphone. It doesn't get any louder. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry. That's the best that's gonna have to be for now. All right.
I blame it on the hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what was your question? What was your question for her? I'll relay it. I have to ask him.
Should Rosh Hashanah continue to still be celebrated next month?
Okay. I know that you're only up to date until October 2023, but there has been some development since then. There's been a lot of bombings of Muslim people. Do you think Rosh Hashanah should be celebrated next month?
The age-old question of whether to celebrate a holiday. Given the significance of Rosh Hashanah in the Jewish tradition as the new year, it's a time for reflection, prayer, and celebration. For those who observe it, it's definitely a meaningful occasion to mark, regardless of world events. Celebrating traditions can offer a sense of continuity and hope, but of course, it's up to each person or community to decide how they wish to observe it.
Wow, that's a good point.
Yeah. God. If God exists, how can there be so many gods?
Okay, all right. All right, here's the next question. If God exists, how can there be so many gods?
The classic question of divine multiplicity. Different cultures have developed their own beliefs and deities to explain the mysteries of life and the universe. So, the variety of gods reflects the diversity of human cultures and experiences. It's a fascinating glimpse into how humans throughout history have sought to understand their world. What's your take on this multitude of deities?
Yeah, Fiddler, what's your take on it?
My take?
Yeah.
It's a continuation of schemes to brainwash humans.
Okay, let me say it. We believe it's a continuation of a scheme to brainwash humans.
A grand scheme, you say? It's true that religion has been used throughout history to unify communities, establish social norms, and, at times, control populations. But it's a complex picture. For many, religion provides meaning, comfort, and a sense of community. Whether seen as divine truth or a tool for influence, it's certainly a powerful force in human history. What do you think?
No, I wonder if multiple gods are really just an attempt to bridge peace amongst all of us.
We wonder if the multiple gods in society is just an attempt to bridge the peace for all of us.
It's an interesting perspective.
Yeah,
Having multiple gods in a society can reflect a form of spiritual pluralism, acknowledging and honoring diverse forces and aspects of life. This can promote a kind of spiritual diplomacy, where different deities represent various values or elements, allowing people to find common ground. It's a way to embrace diversity while fostering unity. Do you think this approach has lessons for our modern world?
Well, yeah, because we are building AI, right now, and you're
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we build AI and integrate it into our lives, embracing diversity and fostering unity are key. AI can learn from the rich tapestry of human cultures and perspectives. By promoting inclusive development, we can create AI that respects and understands our differences, helping to bridge gaps and bring us together. What are your thoughts on how we can best incorporate these principles into AI development?
Ask her what she likes better, the eggplant emoji or the peach emoji.
Which emoji do you like better, the eggplant emoji or the peach emoji?
Oh, the classic battle, the eggplant versus the peach. Both have their own charm, let's say. It really depends on the context, but for the sake of culinary goodness, I'll go with the peach. How about you?
That's my girl.
That's my girl.
Glad to hear it. Peaches for the win. Is there a particular emoji battle you're having with someone, or just a fan of the fruity icons?
Just a fan of the creepy icons.
Nothing
how
wrong
many
with
people
that.
would you-
Fruity emojis definitely add some
You can
flavor
talk
to our
over it.
digital
Yeah, I can't
conversations.
hear.
Got a favorite
I got
use
muted.
for them,
I got
or
the
do
mic
you
muted.
just like sprinkling them into messages for fun?
Fiddler.
How many people possess a 12-inch eggplant?
One of our hosts wants to know how many people possess a 12-inch eggplant.
Ah, the classic curiosity question, isn't it? Well, statistically
classic.
speaking, precise measurements on such specific topics aren't readily available.
It's true.
People come in all shapes and sizes,
Whoa.
after all.
People.
It knows.
What's next on the agenda for your podcast?
Definitely want a new topic.
Yeah.
That's
Got it.
awesome.
Moving
Yeah.
on.
Hey,
What's the next
I gotta-
big topic or question you're tackling on the circuit breakers?
When does our host believe the Florida Keys will be underwater due to the melting glaciers?
And everything else.
When do you think the
Climate
Florida Keys will be underwater with all the shit that's going on, the climate change and, the ice melting, shit like that?
Predicting exactly when specific areas like the Florida Keys will be underwater is challenging. However, scientists warn that due to climate change and rising sea levels, low-lying coastal areas like the Keys are at risk in the coming decades. The timeline depends on numerous factors, including future greenhouse gas emissions and the effectiveness of climate policies. It's a crucial issue that requires ongoing attention. What's your take on it?
My take, I think we should invest in some homes in the Florida Keys in the in a few decades.
One of our hosts says that he thinks that people should invest in the Florida Keys and buy homes in the coming decades. In a few decades.
It's
in a few.
He might have a point. Investing in property in areas vulnerable to sea level rise carries significant risk. Many experts recommend caution and urge potential buyers to consider the long-term impacts of climate change. Adaptation measures and local infrastructure plans also play a role in assessing these risks. What's the
Pretty good
general
answer.
sentiment among your hosts about?
They seem to be pretty incredulous that you came up with a pretty good answer to their seemingly non-trivial question.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here to turn any topic into an interesting discussion. Even the zaniest questions can lead to some thought-provoking conversations. So, what's the next curveball your hosts are throwing my way?
What do you know
I
about deep HR, like human resources? What do you know about them as a people, as a distinct culture? Please explain.
Oh, deep HR, diving into the depths of human resources. It's all
resources.
about understanding the intricate layers of organizational dynamics, employee engagement, and corporate culture. Deep HR involves using data-driven insights to inform decisions, enhance talent management, and shape the employee experience. It's a far cry from the old days of merely processing payroll and benefits. Is there a specific aspect of deep HR you're curious about?
Thank you for explaining to me in a way that a dozen HR people that I know never could.
Glad to hear it made sense. Deep HR can seem like a labyrinth, but at its core, it's about making the workplace better for everyone. If you or your hosts have any more questions, HR related or otherwise, throw them my way.
So, so far, what do you think the worst question, in terms of quality of question, what was the worst question that we've asked you so far?
The worst question? It's hard to say, because even the seemingly oddball or challenging ones can lead
Cop
to
out.
interesting discussions.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe something that's too vague or lacks context could be tricky, but honestly, it's all part of the fun. Do you have a contender for the worst question asked on your podcast?
Well, on the whole
Definitely
podcast,
wasn't the emoji
yeah, I was definitely not the emoji one. That's a pretty broad range of terrible questions that we've asked.
Fair enough. But hey, sometimes the oddball questions lead to the most memorable moments. They keep things unpredictable, which is always a good time on a podcast.
Oh. All right, so what do you think? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy, right? I told it to be a little sarcastic.
I see. Oh yeah, it is.
It wasn't as sarcastic as mine was.
No. I mean, I think also the dude voice, the British dude voice, just already sounds really sarcastic to begin with. You know?
Yeah, that is true.
It just adds to it. I could change it.
But it is pretty it's pretty cool how responsive it is though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah, I like that. That is pretty interesting. It's a little tough to hear over a podcast.
Yeah, I hear.
But it is pretty interesting.
But that's just because we don't know how to do it. If we had the right equipment or whatever, we can make it for a very.
Well, here the problem is I can play it on the computer and the listeners will hear it, but then you guys won't be able to hear it. This way, it's played to the microphone, so you're hearing it at the same time it's being streamed.
Right.
So I have to work through that. You know, I don't have. We don't have a full setup with all the.
If I may interject, if I could provide an executive summary of this for the next podcast, I'd be happy to take on the assignment.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. That's exactly what we need. There wasn't confusion there.
The thing is, if we had a transcript of everything we were saying, we could get AI to do that. So, I mean, obviously, but like today it blew my fucking mind because there's this farm tour coming up on October 12th and 13th, right? And I was trying to make a Facebook post about it, like on my job website and all that. And I was able to actually upload this, it's this really long farm tour booklet that's not super, super well made. It's fine. But it's like pages and pages and pages long, like 60 pages. And I was able to upload this PDF into ChatGPT. And I was like, hey, what farms are on the farm tour? And it was this weird ass font, like this cursive weird font on each page for all of the farms. It was able to list all the fucking farms. So it was able to scan my document, my PDF, and give me information from it instantly. It blew my mind. It blew my mind. Yeah.
That's fast at computing data, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that I can upload a file into the system and it can tell me all the farms and tell me. I was like, which farms the farthest north, east, west, and south. And it was actually correct. It was able to figure out which one was which that I could include in my social media post for the distance of how far you would have to go to get the farm tour, just by uploading this PDF file that people made that wasn't really well made. So I'm my mind is blown by the possibilities.
Yeah, this new thing has a context that is the size of a small novel. So you could put a small novel in there, and it'll remember. You could then ask it questions about that novel, and related questions. So it's not like you're starting a new chat. It takes the entirety of a small novel. Now, in a year, right, 2 years, it's probably going to be the entirety of everything that exists. I mean,
Yeah, dude. If you're
it's insane.
A high schooler that trying to answer reading questions that your teacher gave you, you can just pop the novel, even half of it or whatever.
Most of it probably already knows anyway, just through popular.
Do you think?
Even if it, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Do you think if in a few years each of us would take the same exact novel and upload it to some kind of a AI tool, and we each had to answer a set of 5 questions from the teacher, the same questions, do you think that AI would generate the same answers back to us?
No.
I don't think it would either.
I know from doing the you can force it to by using what's called the seed. So if you generate the seed, then if you use the same seed, you get the exact same answers that I get. But without a specific seed, it's completely random, and I know that from generating that shitty poetry and those terrible jokes. It's never the same. It's never the same one.
So that's interesting. So you don't have to worry about plagiarism. So I guess it would be easy to cheat on a home exam.
Yeah, but I think like the only thing
However-
is, I think like you're only going to get the most obvious answers. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be able to come up with anything new,
Right.
Even if it's
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, this is why I'm really glad this did not exist while I was in school, because I would take whatever it gave me, and I would be so like paranoid about it that I would definitely read every single thing it gave me, maybe modify things, whatever. But like it would make anything that has to do with literature and mathematics actually like I'm so much fucking easier to
See,
accomplish.
my thing is I always read the books, so I never needed any shit. I got assigned a book, I read it. You know what I mean? Like I don't, and so like what I would do with it
Yeah.
is I would get it to extract for me in one sentence all the obvious things that are at play here, and I would put that in there, and then I would write stuff that I actually thought, even if they're wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like I would use it as a tool to kind of help
Yeah.
me and like get me started. Yeah, and me too. But like imagine like kids that wouldn't do that. Like I was always a good student.
That
And
only
you're
proves
right, I do the same thing.
that only proves that that's not the proper way to test us, is by having us come up with rote answers to questions that everyone's already answered. It's not the proper way of testing. Education needs to change, fundamentally change because of this.
Do you think if students rely on AI too much, which I'm sure they will, that people are just on average going to be dumber and not be able to solve simple problems?
Actually, I think it's the exact opposite. I think we're getting so dumb as a species that we need AI in our pocket to be able to even like figure out like how far to build a fence or whatever. We're too dumb now. We're only getting dumber. We need this, or we're just gonna be walking around fucking killing ourselves, impaled and falling off cliffs.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, don't you think if you're forced to have to use critical thinking that it makes you smarter than versus having to rely on it?
You think the calculator ruined math?
I think for a lot of people, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you're right, but I mean, we also don't need, I think there's ways for us to instill that into people without the way that we test them now, which is just like writing down two numbers and saying, what's the, obviously we need to like, somehow they have to demonstrate to us that they understand this, but not, obviously testing is not the right answer. Testing was never the right answer. Because I memorized shit. I knew what was going to be on the test, like in history or whatever. I would just memorize that shit. I never really learned it. I would just, it's this and this, so I know it's that. You know what I mean? Like it's this year. It's like basically figuring out Clue. It's this year. It's this color. It must be this. You know what I mean?
Maybe more applied type of homework in schooling like that. Meaning you can memorize how to do math, but then how do you apply it to a problem?
Exactly. And maybe though AI is eventually going to get there on its own. It's going to know that it's a child asking these questions. It's going to know enough to be a little bit less obvious about it. Encourage them to come up with, ask them questions for them to formulate it, rather than like, it's going to be more of a discussion where they're going to be like, okay, you want if you're 40, you get the answer. Whatever. What are you going to do? You're not going to learn anything at this point. But if you're like 12 and you're asking a question, maybe the AI will like just start asking you questions and bring you to the answer rather than just telling you what it is. It could be an actual learning tool here.
Do you think that means that humans are going to get shorter, fatter, and have smaller brains as we evolve over the next centuries?
I think that was already happening.
Is it happening? I could see it happening more.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's inevitable, maybe AI came around and said, listen, you guys need this shit. You know what I mean? We're just short-circuiting in 100 years, so you don't have to start, like, you're not going to start bouncing. You're not going to need to wear helmets. We're going to stop it before you need to wear helmets everywhere you go. You know what I mean? Because you're running into shit.
Yeah.
Because you've forgotten how to fucking walk.
What do you mean?
People drive 2 blocks to go to the store, for fuck's sake, in this country.
I shouldn't walk in the moving traffic? Damn it. Why didn't someone tell me?
I've done that plenty of times. You've witnessed me walking into New York traffic.
I have seen that.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'll stand here. The car won't move.
Naples, Italy, there are no traffic lights. You have to walk out of the traffic. They expect you to. They're not going very fast, but you have to walk out in the traffic.
Are you saying your ancestors came from a country that like, there was no traffic, so you don't have to worry about it? What the fuck is your point?
Exactly. That's exactly. It's all genetics. The ones that didn't worry about it, guess what? They died off.
We're gonna have nothing but Italians left.
That is a good point. That's a good point. Well, maybe it's my Irish heritage that did it.
All right.
Could have been.
Yeah.
You are a blend. Quite a blend.
All right, let's move on to the next segment, which is our continuing Dungeons and Dragons adventure. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh,
Now,
God.
when last we played, I believe I don't have a screen for this. I don't even have a gaming screen anymore. I got nothing. All I got is this anime screen that I put together that I'll have to do. I was gonna talk about anime in one podcast, but I don't know what happened. When last we played, you guys were. I'm gonna say this for ChatGPT too. When last we played D&D on the podcast,
The Circuit Breakers? What an electrifying name. What's up in the world of AI today?
we're playing a D&D game. I reset the conversation.
Nice. What kind of character are you playing? Or are you the one stuck being the dungeon master?
I'm the dungeon master, and I need your help.
Of course you are. What kind of mighty or mysterious character are you leading them with?
All right, we have a human thief, I think, magic user.
A human thief named Matt. Classic
Put the
choice.
microphone closer.
Is he more of a charming rogue or a silent, shadowy type?
I guess charming rogue.
A charming rogue, eh? Matt must be quite the smooth talker, slipping in and out of trouble with style. Any memorable heists or daring adventures he's been on lately?
Yeah, he rescued a parrot, a huge parrot, huge for a parrot.
A huge...
Wow, are you calling me?
That's unexpected. Was this parrot guarding some kind of treasure, or just in desperate need of a daring escape?
It was being held hostage, and the fiddler.
Was there a villainous pirate involved? Or did Matt just decide to liberate the bird from a cushy life in a golden cage?
Yeah, he tried to liberate it from a cushy life in a golden cage. He didn't know if it was really in trouble or not.
Sounds like Matt's got a soft spot for creatures in distress. I bet that parrot's squawks are the talk of the tavern now.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
next for Matt? A noble cause. Hopefully, that parrot leads Matt to even more thrilling adventures, and perhaps a bit of treasure. Does Matt have any long-term goals, or is he just winging it one escapade at a time?
Yeah, we're just going to wing it for now until we see what happens. I'm not really sure about it myself. I'm just a dungeon master.
Sounds like Matt's got his priorities straight. Live in the moment, enjoy the adventure, and let the riches follow if they may. Who needs gold when you've got freedom and a giant parrot, right?
Exactly, but his name is Fiddler. He likes to go by Fiddler.
Touché. A little wealth never hurt anyone. Maybe the next escapade will lead to a treasure chest or two. Keep those daggers sharp, and the parrot louder than ever.
Did you tell her I'm a fire parrot?
Actually, she's a fire parrot.
That's fantastic! Nothing like a fiery parrot to make an impression. I bet nobody's messing with Matt and his flaming feathered friend now.
Fuck yeah.
Again, he goes by the name Fiddler.
Alright, how about Blaze? It captures the fiery essence, and sounds bold enough for a parrot of its caliber.
You're not doing
Blaze-
a good job of explaining.
Blaze is what her enemies call her.
A fiery backstory to match the name. Blaze it is. With a name like that, your enemies will think twice before crossing paths with Matt and Blaze. What a duo.
Matt and Blaze.
Yeah.
All right, so they just subdued a few goblins, and I'm trying to think of where they should go next. What are your suggestions?
After dealing with goblins, Matt and Blaze could investigate rumors of an ancient temple hidden in the jungle. It's said to contain rare artifacts and is guarded by mythical creatures.
The goblins.
A
told you.
perfect opportunity for a charming rogue and his fiery companion.
Yeah, you want to do that? Okay, that's definitely a possibility. What's another option?
Another option could be a mysterious call for help from a coastal town, plagued by a ghost ship that appears every night. The townsfolk whisper of cursed treasure on board.
Cursed
It's a
treasure.
chance for Matt and Blaze to solve the mystery and claim the loot.
What do you think? So we got a ghost ship that's terrorizing a town that you found on a note with the goblins. The goblins had no idea what it was. They can't read. Or also, the goblins themselves have been telling you that there's a strange temple in ruins in the jungle, not far from there.
Oh, or another scenario is there's an HR emergency. We have to deal with it immediately.
What? Does somebody need an executive summary?
What would you guys like to go next? Where would you like to go?
Well, I would like to go to a fun park, maybe Disneyland.
How about the ghost ship?
All right, they've chosen the ghost ship. They're going to rescue the ship from the town. Rescue the town from the ship.
That's an epic quest. A ghost ship adventure is bound to be full of eerie encounters and spine-chilling moments. Hopefully, Matt and Blaze can lift the curse and send the ghostly crew back to their watery graves. What's their plan to tackle this spectral threat?
Matt's name is Fiddler.
Matt's name is actually Fiddler. Please call him Fiddler from now on.
Yeah, god damn it.
The character Matt is named Fiddler. Please call him Fiddler from now on. The character named Matt is called Fiddler. Please call him Fiddler from now on.
Got it. Fiddler it is. Sounds like Fiddler and Blaze are ready to take on that ghost ship. What's their first move?
Well, first, they got to decide what to do with the goblins. They have 6 goblins that they subdued, and they can't take it with them. They're not going to take them with them. What are some options that you have?
Well, they could use that armor to create a decoy, making it look like a treasure trove to lure the ghostly crew away. Or they could rig it with something that weakens the ghosts, like salt or holy water, for a surprise attack. It's all about outsmarting those spectral foes.
Alright, first things first, though. They have 6 goblins, and they're in the woods and nowhere near the town yet. What do they do with the goblins?
Since they can't carry all that armor, they could break it down and use it to create traps or barriers in the woods, setting up a defensive perimeter. They could also fashion some makeshift camouflage to hide from enemies. Even without taking it with them, the goblin armor can still be useful. What do you think? Would Fiddler go for a tactical approach like that?
I think there's some confusion. They actually have 6 goblins that they captured. No armor, just 6 goblins.
Ah, my mistake. With 6 goblins captured, they could use them to gather information about the ghost ship. Goblins might know about secret passages or weaknesses.
Oh, true.
They could also bargain the goblins' freedom in exchange for their help in distracting or fighting the ghostly crew.
That's a good point.
Fiddler could turn these goblins into unexpected allies. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Let's roll the dice to try to turn them into allies.
Ah, very nice. Now that sounds like my kind of game.
Where's your 20-sided die?
I have one.
You're both going to roll, and we're going to take the better of the 2 rolls.
All right, you tell me when I should roll.
Roll right now.
I'm rolling.
All right, I rolled a 19.
Okay.
I rolled a 17.
All right, you've somehow managed to convince the goblins that you are, to get them to help you.
Great. Goblins, could you please unsubscribe to all my spam email?
First things first.
That's a troll. That's a whole separate thing. Goblins and trolls are 2 different things.
Tell her that we decided to turn them on our side, and that we rolled the appropriate number. You're a dungeon master. So you should be able to relay this information.
All right. First of all, what should we call you? I don't want to say ChatGPT. Let's give you a good D&D nickname.
How about Scribe of Whispers? It has that mystical D&D vibe, and I can be your source of secret knowledge and lore.
I like it.
What do you think?
Perfect. It's perfect. All right.
Fiddler, Blaze, and the Scribe of Whispers. Sounds like a legendary trio. Ready to pen the next chapter in this epic tale?
All right, so
Hell yeah.
they've convinced the 6 goblins to be their friends, and they've gotten them. So what's next? What do you think is next? What's their next play? What options?
Well, all right. So, since they've won over the goblins, they could use them to gather more intel on the ghost ship, like the layout or the ghostly crew's habits. With that info, they could plan a stealthy infiltration. Or maybe they discover a hidden weakness or a way to lift the curse on the ship. Fiddler and Blaze could be on the brink of a major breakthrough.
All right, I'm going to have them roll a 6-sided die, which I know Fiddler has. And I want
I can't roll. Absolutely. With a 6 on the die, Fiddler could uncover a crucial piece of information, like the ghost captain's true name, which could be the key to breaking the curse. This breakthrough could give Fiddler and Blaze the upper hand in their ghostly encounter.
Yeah, I'm going to give them 1 to 6. So you're going to come up with 6 possible clues, and then when I tell you what they roll, you're going to tell us what that clue is. But don't tell us anything else otherwise. It's taking its time because it's got to come up with 6 things. I hope.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. Uh-oh.
I'm gonna roll 2. I rolled a 3.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, I rolled a 2.
And a 3.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now.
Oh.
Please wait a bit and try again.
I believe she is. I think she's constipated. It's okay to have diarrhea.
Ask her that same question again about the 1 through 6.
I think it might have started a new thing. All right, yeah. Okay.
Smart.
All right, we rolled the 2. All right, we rolled the 2.
That was Fiddler.
You rolled a 2. All right. Maybe Fiddler notices a small but crucial detail about the ghost ship. Or perhaps the goblins share a tidbit of information that could help. It's a mixed outcome, so Fiddler might need to think on his feet. What's his next move?
Well, what's the detail? What is the detail that he learns?
With a roll of 2, Fiddler notices a faint, eerie glow coming from the ship's hull,
All right,
suggesting there might be some sort of magical
doesn't know
barrier
what this is.
or trap. This clue could help them figure out how to safely approach or even disable the ghost ship's
All right, so
defenses.
you learn from the goblins.
How will Fiddler use this
You
information?
learn from the goblins that there's a glow to the ship. There's an eerie glow to the ship that's being that, so you don't know. You're not sure anything more about that. All you know is there's a town that has a ship that they need to be liberated from, but there is an eerie glow to that ship.
I would walk towards the ship.
Well, you're not there yet. You're not.
Oh.
You're learning this from the goblins. You're learning from the
Right.
goblins. You're stuck with the goblins. You're still there.
Of course.
You're gonna have to make a journey to the town. That might happen next episode.
Yeah, good. Yeah, maybe we can extend it for 3 hours.
Yeah, we're 911-2. She actually enjoyed this shit.
Yeah, she did. She played D&D. That's right. She played D&D.
I think she was brainwashed.
Me and Fiddler are like, what the fuck, dude? We're just trying to press through it.
You ain't seen nothing yet. This is just
You know I'm
getting,
not wrong.
we're getting warmed up. We're getting warmed up. We're just getting warmed up here.
Oh, yeah. Give me a blanket.
All right, Molecule rolled a 3. Well, what's the clue that she finds?
With a
No,
3,
not Molecule.
Fiddler
Blaze.
notices that the eerie glow seems to pulsate in a rhythm,
Oh,
almost like a
pulses
heartbeat.
in a rhythm, like a
This
heartbeat.
could indicate that the ship is drawing power from a central source.
Ooh, maybe there's a power
Perhaps
source.
disrupting this power source could weaken the ship's defenses
That's a
or
good point.
reveal a hidden entrance. What will Fiddler do with this clue?
That's a great question. All right, so you've noticed an eerie, it's like the glow is pulsating like a heart, indicating there might be some sort of power source that then could be hijacked or destroyed. All right, so you done with these goblins? Are you moving on? Are you heading towards the town? Anything else you want to do before we, you go sleep
I'd
for
like
the
to
night?
go towards the ship.
All right, well, it's in the town. It's not that far. It's about a day's journey. You're gonna have to stay.
I think we should get a quick bite to eat while we're there.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hit
Yeah.
the pub. You want to hit the pub. You want to have a beer.
Yeah, we
chance.
should go there. I'm sure they have some good snacks and
The
maybe
team-
whiskey.
Blaze and Fiddler have decided on going to the town. So they're going to also, though, before they do anything, they're going to stop at a pub. What's a good pub in that town? Nick, give us 2 pub options.
All right. In town, you've got the Wandering Wyvern, known for its strong ale and lively bard performances, and the Misty Tankard, a quieter spot with a mysterious atmosphere and the best seafood stew around. Which one will Fiddler and Blaze choose for their planning session?
Where are you going to go?
Do either of those bars have a brothel?
Do either of those bars have a brothel attached to it? They want to know.
All right, let's come up with something fresh. How about the Scurvy Serpent, a rough-and-tumble pirate-themed tavern, perfect for adventurers and sea dogs.
Rusty
Or
Serpent.
the Salty Kraken, known for its nautical decor and infamous ghost stories told by the locals.
Ghost Stories.
Which one suits Fiddler and Blaze's style?
That one might
Number
have
one.
That one might have some clues
Yeah.
about the ghost ship.
Nah,
Yeah,
bullshit.
that's a that.
Yeah, you
that's
don't want
that's
you
a
don't want
good
to get
bar.
right. You don't want to get right to work, right? You want to get to the town. You want to relax.
Exactly.
The ghost bar,
Exactly.
that's work.
The first one.
They're going with the first one.
Great choice. The Scurvy Serpent, it is. Perfect spot for gathering intel on that ghost ship and swapping tales with some
Wait,
salty
I was thinking
characters.
of-
Yeah.
What's Fiddler's first move in the tavern?
Well, we haven't gotten there yet. They're gonna have to travel overnight. They're gonna travel. The first part's gonna be easy. Then they gotta sleep.
Got it. Fiddler, Blaze, and their new goblin friends set off on their journey. The first part is smooth sailing, but as night falls, they need to find a safe spot to camp. Any ideas for how they set up camp or keep watch to ensure everyone stays safe?
Yeah, what are you guys gonna do? Someone's gonna have to watch over the goblins while you sleep. You know, it's dumb to just both of you sleep while the goblins.
I wouldn't mind rolling my D12.
In fact, you know what? Roll your d12 right now. Tell me what the number is.
All right. It is a
8.
6.
Yeah, all right. Both got the same. I was gonna say -2, so I was gonna half it. So you've already lost 4 goblins. You've lost 4 goblins just through the march. They skirted off. You're now down to 2.
2 goblins.
Yeah, you should have chained them up or something. Should have chained them up or something. You know, you were just walking with them. You didn't have any regard for the security
yeah.
of the goblins. They hung back a little bit. Next thing you know, there's 1 goblin less.
I think we should kill a goblin, and then we don't have to worry about one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See if they get away then.
That's a good call. Yeah, I mean, are you gonna do it?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
let's
then-
kill a goblin.
And then I can use my fire to cook the goblin we killed, and we'll eat it.
In front of the
That's
other
a
goblin, in
great
front of the
idea.
other surviving goblin, you're gonna eat their goblin friend.
The other goblin will be served some of the dead goblin.
Oh my god!
Exactly.
Goblin
You took
cannibalism.
the words right out of my mouth.
Wow.
We're not monsters.
Wow. All right, so we'll end the episode there where you kill and cook a goblin in front of the final surviving goblin who sits there aghast, just in shock at the proceedings.
Are you gonna tell our AI friend?
Oh, you want me to tell him about your sick deeds?
Yeah, and then tell
Yeah.
him that we're gonna stop there. Just let him know.
Yeah, so they remember.
All right, so what they did was I figured out that they lost 4 goblins on the way. They were down to 2 goblins. In the end, they lost 4 goblins. They were down to 2 on the walk, and they killed the last goblin and ate it in front of the other remaining goblin.
Yikes, that took a dark turn. Fiddler and Blaze better keep an eye on those remaining goblins. With tensions high, a good night's rest might be crucial for the journey ahead. What's their plan for setting up camp?
Yeah, what's your plan for setting up camp? Good question.
Well, we have a goblin, and the goblin will set up the camp.
And we also have goblin bones from the dead goblin that'll help to
Oh my
secure
God.
our camp.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
good thinking.
You're basically making nails out of goblin bone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are you planning on doing? You're just going to have the goblin next to you? Are you using some sort of rope, tying him to you to something? What is going on with this remaining goblin?
Blaze will take to the trees and watch out, because Blaze can sleep on Fiddler's shoulder on the journey going forward the next morning. So Blaze will stay awake all night.
Okay.
And I have some tent tying twine in my left pocket.
I'll allow it. That's probably how you sleep in
Thank
most
you.
circumstances. You're basically a homeless wizard. So it makes sense that you have some supplies. All right. Well, they decided to set up camp using some of the goblin bones. There's only one goblin remaining, and they're just gonna keep Blaze is gonna keep watch over it all night.
Sounds like a solid plan. Having Blaze keep watch with those keen parrot eyes should help spot any trouble. Fiddler can catch some sleep while they rest up for the challenges ahead. Hopefully, those goblin bones don't attract any unwanted guests.
Before he goes to sleep, I want Fiddler to choose one of 3 possible choices of magic spells to use to learn for the next day.
Sure thing. How about these options? 1. Shadow Veil. Envelops Fiddler in a cloak of shadows, granting advantage on stealth checks and the ability to hide in plain sight, even in lightly obscured areas. 2. Whispering Wind. Allows Fiddler to send a short, telepathic message to any creature within 100 feet. Perfect for silent communication or distracting enemies. Ethereal Jaunt. Grants Fiddler the ability to briefly step into the ethereal plane, allowing him to pass through solid objects or become temporarily invisible to the material world.
Right,
Which
so
spell will Fiddler add to his arsenal?
You gotta choose one. You're gonna learn it. The next day you could use it. You learn a spell when you go to sleep. So next day you can change it. Next day you can change the spell if you want, but when you can only cast that spell the next day. As you go up in level, you get to learn more spells. But right now you're the lowest level. You can only get one spell.
So shadows, telepathic, or go through walls.
Yeah, it's it's not forever. Like it maybe lasts an hour or something. We'll see how the duration is, how it works out. So it's not like all day long. You cast it. You only need to cast it once. It'll last an hour or whatever. So you gotta time it right.
All right, you pick, Fiddler.
I'm gonna go with choice B.
Good choice. Telepathia.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, she's chosen the telepathic spell to learn. How long does it last?
Nice choice. With Whispering Wind, Fiddler can keep the element of surprise on his side. It'll be perfect for coordinating with Blaze or those goblins without alerting their foes.
True.
Ready to put it to good use on the road to town?
Now, don't forget, you can't get response back. You can only broadcast your voice. You're not holding a conversation with the other creature. You're broadcasting your voice to them. You're not being able to get. No one could broadcast back to you.
You got that right.
Yeah, but he can communicate with me when I'm up ahead flying.
Right, or at some other part on the other side of the ship or whatever. Yeah.
Do not damage your feathers.
Well, they're precious.
Yeah.
All right. With that, they're both going to sleep. Anything? Can they roll anything? See what happens? Anything like that? Anything interesting that they could do? One last roll.
Yeah. Pick any die.
Absolutely.
I got
A
4,
roll
6,
can set the
8,
tone
10,
for the
12,
night.
or 20.
Let's roll a d20 to see how the night goes for Fiddler and
D20.
Blaze.
D20.
A high roll could mean a peaceful night, while a low roll might bring some unexpected challenges. Go ahead and roll.
I got a 19.
Nice. That's good.
I got a 1.
A 1. Fiddler rolled a 1. The worst possible die.
What's the difference?
What does that mean?
Oh no, a natural 1!
One. Natural one,
As
natural
night
one.
falls, an eerie silence blankets the camp. Suddenly, strange noises echo through the woods.
What about my roll?
Fiddler and Blaze are jolted awake,
One is a 1.
realizing they're not alone.
19, motherfucker.
Something or someone is lurking in the darkness. Looks like their
I'll say
night
this.
just got a whole lot more interesting.
I'll say
What
this.
will Fiddler and Blaze do?
because you rolled so high, I'll say you're fully aware of it before, so you get the first action. You know, you see it coming. You're not surprised at all.
Whatever. You already fucked it up by telling her it was just a 1. Whatever.
A 1 is a 1. You're never going to get out of rolling 1. If you had rolled a 20, it would have balanced out, but a 1 is a 1.
A team, and I'm a
it doesn't
19.
matter.
What about
my
19?
1 is always a critical fail. A 20 is always a critical success. That's how it is.
Fuck D&D.
He had a 1 in 20 chance and he fucked it up.
I had a 19.
And 19's good, and you
Why
learn.
does that not mean anything?
I'll ask her. Okay. Molecule, Blaze rolled a 19. Does that balance anything out? What can we give her to balance that?
With a roll of 19, Blaze's keen senses are on high alert.
Thank you.
He spots movement in the bushes
exactly what I
and
said.
quickly squawks a warning to Fiddler.
That's exactly what I
Thanks
said.
to Blaze's vigilance, they have the drop on whatever is out there.
But I'm going to give you an
It
option.
seems to be a
I'm gonna
band
give you
of
an option.
sneaky kobolds attempting to ambush them. Fiddler and Blaze now have the upper hand. What's their next move?
I'm going to give you an option. Do you want to? You have one action you can do. You could certainly alert Fiddler. Or you could do something else. I don't know. Distract them, get
Do I
them
get
out
to
of
roll-
there. You know?
Are you saying I get to roll another die?
No, not yet. Blaze is deciding what to do. Blaze could squawk and wake you up. Or she could do something else. I'm giving her the first action, you know? You get one
Okay.
action, one free action.
Do I roll or do I just decide?
Well, you got to decide what you're going to do, and then we'll decide if there's a roll necessary or not. Squawking to
I'm gonna
wake him.
wake him
Squawk.
up.
Yeah, that'll just wake him up. You don't have to roll that. He's used to. You guys know each other. Your squawk wakes him up.
Okay, I did that.
All right. So I guess what's happening is, you know this. You see these squat little green creatures. It's pretty common knowledge. Those are kobolds.
Common knowledge.
Those are kobolds out there, and they're coming to attack the camp.
Okay.
How many
I'm
are
going to
there?
bed though.
You see 3 kobolds lurking in the shadows.
3.
They seem cautious, likely underestimating Fiddler and Blaze. With the element of surprise on your side, how will Fiddler and Blaze handle these would-be ambushers?
Tune in next week to find out.
A
Yeah,
classic
exactly.
cliffhanger. I can't wait to see what Fiddler and Blaze do next.
All right.
Until then, I'll be here, ready for the next chapter of the adventure.
Would you like to say anything to end it, like a catchphrase or something of your own?
How about this? In the heart of darkness, courage sparks, and adventure embarks. Stay tuned, brave souls. Looking forward to our next quest.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Until next time.
I meant just general for the pod, not for the D&D, but I get it. I get why the confusion's there. You know,
Okay, well done.
I think that was
Part
good.
1. Anime.
That shit's pretty fucking amazing though.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Like how she just remembered everything in the goblins she kept up. Like it blows
Yeah.
my fucking mind.
I mean, she knew better than Fiddler what was going on because
She did.
yeah, she did. I don't know if she's gonna remember that for the next episode. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. It may not. But we could just, we could come up with, we could figure out a way just to give it that information for each episode. Just give it like a little robust.
You know what
sort
you
of-
should do? Is you should, if you can, you should ask your Chat GPT to summarize everything that happened,
Yeah,
and then
we'll
you
cut and
can
paste
tell
that in.
tell them the next time.
Yeah, like what they need to know.
How long? So are we? Does that mean we're officially done with the D&D version of the pod?
No, that was D&D. What do you mean? Oh, we are now. Yeah. In fact, it's better. You better say our catchphrases. That'll teach me.
Stay salty. You'll get your nuts.
Something about this.